Welcome to another unboxing video from theplayersaid.com. My name is Grant. This is a second edition, so very excited about this one. A second edition copy of Hapsburg Eclipse, the Great War in Eastern Europe, 1914 to 1916. The game is an entry in the States of Siege series, which I love the States of Siege series. The game box says Victory Point Games, but I know it is distributed by Tabletop Tycoon, and I actually don't see that listed anywhere. So they are the distributor, I guess. Victory Point Games, the old Victory Point Games, which was bought by Tabletop Tycoon, is now the publisher of this very cool series. The game is designed by Darren Leveloff. Really enjoy Darren's games. Soviet Dawn is on my shelf. Really like that States of Siege series game. He also did Israeli Independence, Hapsburg Eclipse, and then Ottoman Sunset. I also have that. We'll unbox that as well. I will say, save your questions about how this differs from the first edition. I don't own the first edition. Unfortunately, I've never played the first edition copies of those games. This will be my first and initial experience with this game and Ottoman Sunset. So very nice looking box. Very much enjoy the thematic look and feel of the box itself. It's gray and black. Obviously you can see the sun that is eclipsed there. But here is a look at the board, and it really covers the World War I in the East, right? So you have the Austria-Hungarian Empire here, kind of goes down to here. You have the Balkan front. Here's Serbia, where it all started. You have Italy here in the west. And then up here you have the Polish front and the Carpathian front. And then here is the Romanian front. So all of these are converging on Vienna, right? You can see, and if any of them reach that, you lose. So nice looking game. It has several national loyalties tracked. There's some things that are going to happen as those degrade or increase. Look at all the different counters. There's the one I was mentioning, Ottoman Sunset. Combine this game with Ottoman Sunset for a linked experience or two-player co-op. So that's one I would love to try both of these solo and then get with Alexander and try to do them cooperatively. That would be very fun. These are driven by cards. There are 50 event cards. There's a couple of setup cards. I don't know if there's, what do you call that, scenarios or not. Lots of tokens, rulebook, dice. Once again, solo game, 30 to 60 minutes. More often than not, you're going to lose this one in 20 to 30 minutes. So I think that's why they have the 30-minute time frame there. So let's go ahead and open the box. Very sturdy, by the way. And here's a look at Tabletop Tycoon's little booklet that kind of gives a look at all their different games. I do own Black Orchestra. We have never played it. I want to. High Treason is a fantastic game. The version of the game we played was published initially by Victory Point Games. Never played Cuba. There's the Ottoman and Hapsburg Eclipse. Nemo's War I played cooperatively with Alexander. Very fun game. So that's kind of a look at their catalog. Here's a nice rule book. Very, very nice. 32 pages, which includes credits and how to do the combined game. If you know States of Siege series game, this one's going to be fairly simple for you to pick up. Although, here we go, Hapsburg Eclipse expanding the war. There are different variants, and then it talks about the combined game with Ottoman Sunset. So that's about half the rule book, give or take. So it looks like there's about, and then there's an extended example of play shown right here. Lots of text, by the way. So it looks like there's about 20 pages of rules themselves. So there you can see. That's 19, but the other page is 20. Victory and defeat. This is one of those games where you're going to score a number of points, and then you're going to say, oh, I have a Pyrrhic victory. That means you're terrible. 36 plus, a crushing defeat. No, I mean, sorry. Pyrrhic victory is good. You won, but it cost you a lot. 36, you're going to be totally destroyed. Don't know exactly how it scores, but like many of them, it's a number of things. The position of the enemy counters on the tracks, how many different conditions, where your political loyalty tracks are, etc. But yeah, nice looking rule book, nicely laid out. I'm sure that Darren made this a labor of love and really wanted this edition to be perfect. We had dinner with him this year at Gen Con at Giordano's, and he was very excited about these. He showed us prototypes at that time. They looked great. Yeah, there's a look at the board that I've already shown you, the setup scenario cards. So yeah, there's the rule book. Here are the counters, one sheet of counters. They're big counters. Different resources. There's some different events that are going to come up, revolts that are going to happen, the markers that move along the various tracks, the loyalty markers, your national will, German aid, all different kinds of markers there. They are double-sided, nice looking counters, really nice presentation. They are not, no, they are pre-rounded. So I'm looking at these. These are very nice. Yeah, you're not going to have to clip these. A lot of people don't clip these kind of counters anyway, but you're not going to have to clip these. These are really well made, and they're pre-rounded. Let's go ahead and get the board. It is a mounted board, so very nice. I have several States of Siege series game that are, old style, puzzly, interlocking pieces. But there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a different style. So this is a long, thin board. Kind of cool, actually, as you look at it. Once again, different tracks converging on Vienna. If these tracks get into Vienna and you don't knock them out, you're going to lose the game. That's like an auto loss. There again, here's references to a lot of those revolt markers: Hungarian, Bulgarian, Croat, Czech revolt. You're going to have several of those that are going to give negative or +1 die roll modifiers. Here is that political will or national will track. Berlin-Baghdad Railway, open if Bulgarian entry active and Habsburgs control Skopje. Probably said that wrong. Here's the war status, and then victories, defeats, stalemates, war weariness, available advantages, off-map theaters, you're going to mark those, national loyalty tracks, etc. Here is the nice thing about this game. You've got a sequence of play printed directly on the board. That is one of my requirements for games to be good in the solitaire format. You have got to have these sequence of plays here so that I can quickly reference them, look at the rules if I want more depth, but definitely all there. Great layout. Everything appears to be fairly readable. What I would say, just my opinion and a preference, the names on there are very, very small. It's not necessary to see the names, but they're very small. Those should have been a bit bigger. I think you had room to make those boxes bigger. That might have been a cost issue because then the counters would have had to have been bigger and maybe they didn't fit on a 3/4 counter sheet. But that's a look at the, the board. Here's the 2 6-sided dice. Very simple, nothing real fancy. And then you've got a 1 pack of cards, which has those scenario. I think there were 4 scenario setup cards, which is very nice. Designed to get you into the game, playing quickly so that you can enjoy it, right? I always struggle with opening these stupid decks of cards. Let's go ahead and look at the scenario setup cards. Once again, there are 4 of them. A World Undone, Grand Campaign, it says. So it tells you where to put the different markers. Whirlwind, which is the 1915 scenario. Tailspin, 1916. Last Days of the Hapsburgs, 1917. And then A World Undone, that Grand Campaign that you've already seen. So yeah, not a huge amount of difference, but it is interesting that this one has, or wait, which one? This one has a lot less stuff on them. Anyway, not exactly sure why that is. I'm sure that's something I'll figure out as I get it set up and play. But you're going to draw these cards. They are numbered. You'll see some of them will always start like in the 1 position. There are 50 cards. I already said that. And you're going to basically play through this deck to win the game. If you survive and score a certain number of points, you're gonna get that victory. Remember the Pyrrhic victory or crushing defeat. Basically, you're going to draw this card, and it's going to tell you all that you need to know. You're going to advance with this card, second army out of position. You're going to advance the Carpathian front and the Polish front. So the markers are going to be put on here. You're going to move Carpathia, if it's at 6, it's going to go to 5. Polish front, if it's at 5, it's going to go to 4. And they are advancing closer and closer to defeating you. You will notice, looks like 2 of these tracks, the Romanian and the Balkan, start in the 5 position. Actually, Polish, Romanian, and Balkan start at 5. The Italian front and Carpathian front start at 6. But those are going to move, and you can see sometimes 3 move, or sometimes you might even have a double movement. Loyalty cost, you're going to, random one is going to go plus 1. So to bump up these loyalty tracks, you're going to roll a die. That one is going to have a +1 result to get it up. So that's kind of a negative thing. Or it's going to give you a +1 modifier. Not really sure. I haven't read how the rules work that out. 2 actions. You're just going to get 2 actions. You're going to have a list of actions that you can do. It probably has it on the board. Maybe it does, but I'm not seeing it. 2 actions. You're going to get a -1 DRM to all offensives. Offensives are going against these armies on these tracks. So you're going to have a -1 DRM to all of those. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me restate that. -1 to all offensives versus the Carpathian and Polish fronts. So during this turn, Carpathia and Poland, you're going to get a -1. That's not great, right? So here's an example of another one. Those 3 are going to advance. Loyalty test is Hungary. And then 2 actions. More often than not, it looks like you're going to get 2 to 3 actions. I'm sure there's a couple that have, well, no, it looks like there's one that has 1. There's always one that just says screw ya. There's a 3, a 2, a 2. I'm looking for a 4, and there may not be any 4s. You never have enough actions, frankly, to do what you need to do. But that's a look at the cards. Great art, nice layout, clear read. They even have historical text that can aid you in your immersion, but also learning about what's going on. So these look great. Very excited about this game, frankly. I love States of Siege series games. I think I've already said that. I really, truly enjoy them, and very much looking forward to playing both this and Ottoman Sunset. So we'll open the other one, unbox it, but I will try to get these. Well, I got to finish. I have Endurance on my table to the right. You can't see it, but I got to finish that game first. I'm in the middle of my 3rd game. I'm comfortable with the systems and the mechanics, but I need to finish that before I can start something like this. So there you go. Hapsburg Eclipse, 2nd edition, designed by Darren Leveloff, Victory Point Games, but distributed by Tabletop Tycoon. Great looking package, great looking game. States of Siege series, easy to play. Going to be a good one. Going to be one that probably sticks out in my collection for a long time. So thanks for watching. I've been Grant for the Player's Aid.